Some biologists see in this a perfect adaptation, one so effective that it transcends the need for modification. In dense forest litter, speed and range matter more than brute force, and the slime shooting mechanism offers both. Others note the worm's solitary habits and the patchy distribution of its habitats, suggesting that low competition may shield the species from evolutionary pressure. If no rival uses the same method, the niche remains secure and the weapon stands unchallenged. Still, there is a paradox. Across such vast spans of time, random mutations alone should have altered the slime's chemistry or the papillae's structure. Yet molecular studies reveal a surprising degree of conservation. The slime proteins of modern velvet worms closely resemble those predicted for their Paleozoic kin. One hypothesis holds that the slime's dual role as both weapon and defense has locked its design in place. Against predators, a sudden spray can blind or entangle, buying the worm time to escape. Prey animals, meanwhile, rarely evolve immunity to physical entrapment the way they might to venom or toxins. Another theory focuses on the slime's unique chemistry. Because it can be reabsorbed and recycled after drying, the energy cost of producing it remains low, reducing selective pressure to change its composition. A third, more speculative view suggests that the stability of the velvet worm's weapon is tied to the stability of the microhabitats it occupies. Deep within the humid litter, insulated from dramatic climate swings, the same hunting conditions have prevailed for hundreds of millions of years, creating an evolutionary bubble in which ancient designs persist. Yet even with these theories, gaps remain. The fossil record for soft-bodied animals is sparse, leaving large stretches of the velvet worm's past untraceable. We know they survived multiple mass extinctions, including the one that erased the dinosaurs, but not precisely how. We can infer their prey from modern behavior, but not the full range of their ancient diet. The question of why the slime mechanism is so stable still lingers, unanswered. It is possible that the explanation lies not in the weapon itself, but in the predator's entire way of life, a strategy built on patience, concealment, and precision rather than speed or brute strength. These traits, paired with a weapon that immobilizes rather than kills outright, may have created a survival formula too efficient for nature to discard. In the end, the velvet worm remains both a survivor and a cipher. Its slime-shooting ambush is a spectacle of evolutionary engineering, yet it also serves as a reminder of how much we do not know. Here is an animal that has crossed the gulf of geological time largely unchanged, its hunting method as alien to us now as it would have been to the first vertebrates that crept onto land. Watching it in slow motion, the instant arcs of silk, the struggle of trapped prey, the deliberate closing of the distance, is to witness not just a hunt, but an echo from the deep past. Perhaps the real question is not how the velvet worm has held on to its ancient weapon, but what that persistence says about life itself. In a world where everything changes, where most species are fleeting experiments, here is a creature whose strategy has endured across epochs. It suggests that some solutions are so precise, so complete, that time itself cannot improve upon them. And somewhere under the wet leaves of a rainforest floor, a pair of nozzles waits in silence, ready to fire, just as they did when the world was young. In the dim light of a rainforest dawn, the forest floor seems still. Leaf litter lies in sodden heaps, shadows stretch under tangled roots, and the air clings heavy with mist. Yet somewhere in that silence, an ambush is set. A tiny ripple passes through the debris, a movement so subtle it could be mistaken for the settling of the earth itself. Then, without warning, two slender nozzles rise from the gloom, aiming with uncanny precision. In an instant, twin streams of glistening silk erupt into the air, crossing and twisting mid-flight, weaving a net before the target can even react. The strands stiffen as they land, binding limbs, sealing escape. The hunter advances, unhurried. This weapon is not new, nor is it rare in the fossil record. But here in living flesh, it is something else entirely. A relic from a time when giant arthropods ruled the earth still walks among us, hunting as it did hundreds of millions of years ago. For most of its life, this predator remains unseen, cloaked in the damp mulch of ancient forests. It belongs to a lineage older than dinosaurs, older than flowering plants, a group of soft-bodied invertebrates known to science as onychophorans. Commonly called velvet worms, their bodies seem almost out of place among modern life. They are not worms in the strict sense, nor insects, nor centipedes, but something between, an evolutionary bridge linking today's arthropods to their Cambrian ancestors. Fossil evidence shows that their kind once grew far larger, some exceeding 1/2 meter in length, patrolling primeval landscapes where trilobites still scuttled and amphibians had only begun to explore the shore. Today, their descendants are smaller, confined mostly to moist leaf litter in tropical and temperate forests, yet their core anatomy and their strange signature weapon remain almost unchanged. This weapon is unlike any other in the animal kingdom. Hidden within the velvet worm's head are paired slime glands connected to flexible papillae, capable of swiveling independently. At rest, these reservoirs brim with a viscous fluid rich in protein and sugar. When the worm senses prey, an insect, a small spider, even another velvet worm, muscles contract with explosive force, ejecting twin jets of slime at speeds measured in meters per second. As the strands fly through the air, they undergo a rapid physical transformation. The proteins tangle, lock, and harden within fractions of a second. The result is a sticky, elastic trap that clings to whatever it touches, holding fast against frantic struggling. In laboratory tests, the slime's adhesive strength rivals that of some synthetic glues, yet it is entirely biodegradable. Once the prey is immobilized, the velvet worm delivers a slow, precise bite, injecting enzymes that begin digestion from the inside out. And here is where the mystery deepens. For over 400 million years, this system, slime glands, papillae, rapid hardening fluid, has persisted with remarkably little change. In evolutionary terms, most predator-prey dynamics shift constantly. Weapons evolve, defenses counter-adapt, strategies are abandoned or replaced. Yet the velvet worm's method of hunting appears frozen in time. Fossilized onychophorans from the Carboniferous period bear strikingly similar mouthparts and gland structures to those alive today. This stability is rare. It suggests not merely that the weapon works, but that it is so effective, so finely tuned to its ecological niche, that it has faced little pressure to evolve further. But why? Environments shift, prey species change, predators come and go, and still, the velvet worm's weapon remains untouched by the usual churn of natural selection,